Hey guys, welcome back to a new Bible with Becks. Today I wanted to just talk about one particular psalm, and that is Psalm 23, so I'm just going to go ahead and read it. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, and my cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. It's such a jam-packed psalm about the way that God loves us and the way that he blesses us and he is there for us. And the reason I picked this psalm today is if you are going through continual difficult times, or you are in that darkest valley, this is the verse that I've always clung on to, in particular about being in the darkest valley, or the shadow of death, depending on the version you remember. That your rod and your staff, they comfort me, I will fear no evil. That's always the thing I go back to, because in those darkest moments, it's been, that's where Satan can get you, because you're in your weakest moment. And I always say I will fear no evil because I can rely on God. And in this verse it just shows us how much we can rely on him, because he provides so much for us. And so if you are facing a difficult time, and it doesn't just have to be like depression or anxiety, it doesn't have to be COVID related. There are so many reasons that we go through dark valleys, and everyone has different ones. I really hope that in going through this verse, it will just remind you and reassure you that you have a great God who loves you, cares for you, and you can rely on him in those hard times. So let's just unpick each of the verses. So in verse 1, where it says that the Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. The Lord is our shepherd. Just like actual shepherds take care of their sheep, if they get lost, they go and find them. If we get lost, God comes and finds us. If we are going out in our days, the same way that as when sheep go out into pastures to eat food and everything, their shepherd has to protect them in case a lion comes or something comes to try and kill or take the sheep. Then the shepherd has to protect the sheep. And then that's the same for us. God comes and protects us when we're in difficult situations or scary situations. God will come and protect us. God cares for us the same way that shepherds care for their sheep. We see that they will do anything at all costs to protect their sheep. I saw a video not that long ago about this sheep that had climbed up this ridiculous mountain cliffside, and this guy gets all this gear and he goes up just to get his one sheep. He risks himself to get that one sheep, and that's like God for us. He cares for us so much that he'll do anything to look after us. There's nothing else impossible for him to take care of us. I just think that's such a wonderful assurance. And then in verse 2 it says, he makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. One, it's talking about providing for us, because the sheep, they're provided with water and food, and then that's the same for us. God will provide for us. I also think it reflects that he's telling us to go and be still, go and have rest. He provides that for us too. We can find rest in him. We can go to him when everything else is at us and crumbling us. We can go to him and seek that rest and that refuge. Then in verse 3 it says, he refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. He does refresh our souls, and it's so wonderful. This world is so difficult, and when you are going through a dark time, it can be so grating. It takes your confidence. It's about comparison and negativity and pressure, and just everything can get to you and just start breaking your heart. And with God, you can go to him, like I said, find rest in him, and he will refresh your soul, because he tells you that you're wonderful. He tells you that you're amazing. He tells you that he has a plan for you, and he's there for you, and he will comfort you and walk with you, and it just refreshes your soul and just can then give you the strength to pick yourself up and keep going. And you're not doing it by yourself. He's right there beside you, holding your hand the whole time. So the fourth point is, even though I walk through darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You know, even in our darkest times, even death, because it depends on your version, it talks about the shadow of death. Even if you're facing death, even if it's just a dark hour, we don't have to fear evil. We don't have to fear anything. We have an assurance that, you know, if we live our life and we accept Jesus into our life, that when we die, we don't just stop here. We have eternal life in heaven. So we have this great assurance that we should have no fear in death. But we also don't have to fear evil. I like that it says, I will fear no evil, because in your dark times, like I said before, it's really easy for Satan to get at us. But we don't have to fear evil. We don't have to fear anything, because God is on our side. And we don't have to fear death. We don't have to fear anything. And I really like the fact that it says, for you are with me. You know, God is really with you, and it's true. Even when you can't feel it and you can't see it, He's with you. And your rod and your staff, they comfort me. And I just think that's such a great assurance that from the start, He's my shepherd. He's going to guide me, protect me, be with me. You know, He gives me what I need. He provides for me. He refreshes my soul against this awful world. And when I'm in that darkest valley, I don't have to fear anything because He's with me. It then goes on to say in verse 5, you prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. You know, in the face of adversity, God is still there for us. Against all those enemies, He can rise us up and provide for us. When all those other people are mocking you and they just think you're crazy, God is providing for you and He's there for you. We've seen it in the Bible so many times, and I'm sure you have stories in your own lives that you know of. He will take care of us. He will lift us up against anyone who's against us. And it says that He anoints our head, you know. He anoints our head. He's pleased with us when we choose to live our way in His life, to accept Christ, and He so blesses us greatly. And I love that it says that my cup overflows, because even in those hard times when it feels like our cup is being emptied, maybe by the world and the situation we're in, God can take it and fill it right back up. And I just think that's so amazing. The last verse is, surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I just want to say that yes, God's goodness and love will follow you all the days of your life. Because just like that shepherd that can't let go of that sheep, that He would never let one just be lost or hurt, God could never do that to you. So even if you are way off track, God will help you to get back on track. There's no way for Him to not want to love you and not want to be with you. And when you're in those dark times, I can totally understand that. Sometimes we feel like God's forgotten us or left us, or maybe we're just not good enough, or maybe we deserve whatever's happening to us. But we can't think that way, because that's not the way that God thinks about us. God loves you. This goodness that we're talking about in these verses, this provision, is for everyone. Even if you have gone off track, even if you're going through the darkest time you've ever been through, God will be there for you. All you have to do is call out to Him, and He will be there. And the very last line says, I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I really do pray that I myself will dwell in the house of the Lord forever, and everyone that sees this video too. You know, we need to dedicate our lives to living for Christ, and then just let ourselves be provided for by God, be walked beside by God, and just have Him look after us like we are little sheep. He is our shepherd, and we will be able to live forever in His house, because we have that assurance that when we die, we will be in heaven with Him again. I really pray that you've enjoyed looking through Psalm 23. It really encourages me and lifts me up in my dark times, and I hope that it may help you if you're going through some sort of a dark valley right now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!